So today, New World Devs dropped a new episode of Forged in Aeternum, and it is the OPR Coral Divide recap. So they're recapping it, and so I'm gonna watch the video, and I am going to react to it. I'll be honest. I thought the map was really good. I did two videos. I did one where I was like giving my opinion. The other one was general player feedback. So let's see what the devs have to say about it.
Hello and welcome to Forge in Aeternum. I'm your host JR, and I'm here with Ramil and Brian. And I just wanted to say thank you so much to the community for.
I feel like I have seen Brian.
For joining us.
We have seen JR before.
OPR preview weekend for Coral Divide.
So, like, I do want to point out that, like, I appreciate the fact that we are seeing more of the dev team in this, right? I would like to see some lower third, titling. That might be nice. But yeah, I'm glad that we are getting to see more of the dev team. More of the dev team is having an opportunity. I'm glad that we're seeing more people. Just would like to see some more titling, please.
We got so much feedback, and just it seems like you guys really like the map, which is amazing.
The Discord
like,
was
kind of validates
was pretty lit
here,
about
right?
the feedback. I'm not gonna
the
lie.
amount of feedback we had was just overwhelming, and
there we go. Ramil Patel, producer. Appreciate this. See, like this is the kind of lower third I'm happy to see. Thank you.
players, like most of those comments in the threads were, just turn it on, give it to us as it is. Don't address the feedback. You know, it was such a great thing to see after a long time, and fans were thirsty for a new OPR map. So
for sure,
it was great.
Friends are thirsty. My man. We've been playing the same OPR map for 4 years. 2021. All right. 3.5 years. All right. What? Closed beta? No, it was open beta, I think. That OPR came out, right? So that was what, like August 2021? I want to say. We've been playing the same OPR map for 3.5 years. We are not thirsty for a new OPR map. My man, we are parched, okay? This is called being parched. Like, yeah, we're not thirsty.
Great.
Yeah, super invaluable. And I mean, before it went out, we were a little nervous, didn't know, positive, negative, how much feedback and everything there would be. Overwhelmingly, it was positive and much in line with what we kind of anticipated.
It was very
you guys
positive
found some
feedback.
holes and some exploits along the way, which we weren't able to catch during testing. And we want to get into the feedback itself, or do we want to thank them again for how awesome they are?
We could keep thanking.
Yeah.
We could just spend this in.
My man, you want to thank me? You really want to thank me? Give me the coconuts. Where are the coconuts? Which, by the way, the coconuts are supposed to be delivered with the Cassis event. Cassis event is going live. Well, for me, it's tonight. For most people, it's tomorrow morning, March 11th. And Cassis is actually running 20 days.
Entire video thinking.
we do have
I know the players want to hear what we are actually giving them now.
Yeah, but before we get into that, like obviously, yes, we're making changes based on the feedback. But there was some interesting data actually that we saw in the tests.
I like data.
Yeah, sure.
I like data.
What was really cool to see is like what we had about a 3-day weekend preview for
extended
Yeah, it
for
got
Monday,
extended.
right?
There was some issue.
During that time, we saw a 50% increase in the number of players that actually participated in OPR, which was pretty awesome. And not just that, but the number of matches that were so close in scoring compared to like our original OPR map was awesome. That really proves that the amount of time and iteration we spent into balancing this map is a true testament to our effort.
All right, so like just two things on that. Number one, 50% more players. So if 100 players play OPR on a weekend, then there were 150 players that were playing OPR on the weekend. Yeah, so I'm gonna say that that's good. Like, that's great. Why they were playing might be possibly the golden coconut, right? Because if you played a match of OPR, you're supposed to be getting a golden coconut. So the golden coconut definitely had something to do with it, right? Now, I'm not saying it had everything to do with it. I know that I played OPR on characters I would not normally play OPR on. Like my OG Legacy Ave Mortem character, right? That somehow is now on Valhalla. Like, go figure. Long story, but anyway, the golden coconut definitely has something to do with it. As far as the matches being close, I agree with this, right? I agree that the map definitely had something to do with it. I also think that the player base, there were more players, more people who normally don't play OPR were playing OPR, so that might have had something to do with it, because I felt that I was I felt like I was an OPR god. Not like, I'm not even gonna lie. I had so many good matches. I felt I had so many good matches as a bruiser that like never happens to me.
Right, right. How much we learned since the inception. I think I might have mentioned it last time, but I worked on the first one years ago, and it was, from scratch, from the ground up and everything. And there was so much that, you weren't sure whether this factor would really play into it and everything. So now, like, we did tons of analysis, even from the first incarnation, and then putting it out this time, and then getting any more feedback. I think we're really tightening the screws on this. And
Yeah, one of the things that I mentioned last time that we're trying to do with all of our new maps and modes is like really focus on like making sure all weapon builds are viable.
Yeah.
I was really happy to see that, like.
So this is good, right? Because, like I said, playing a bruiser, normally in OPR, I get crushed. I did not feel like I was getting crushed as a bruiser. When I did switch over to my mage build on a different character, I did not feel as lethal as normal. When I switched over to my plague fire staff with pestilence, my blunderbuss fire staff build, yeah, honestly, I felt pretty good in that build too. So I believe that there is definite truth to this, that they are working so that all builds are viable. The one build that I really did not care for, I'll be honest with you, was my musket build, but that's probably just because I'm not that great at musket.
Players agreed that we had done a good job there.
Yeah.
Like, melee is super viable in the map.
that was huge. Yeah.
So it's really, really cool. But let's jump into talking more about like some of the feedback we got that we did action on. So one of those was, there's a lot of like vegetation in the map. Like, it was one of the features of the map. We might have gone a little overboard, which was, it caused visibility issues for gameplay, but also performance issues. But we did a pass.
All right. So in all honesty, I never had any performance issues. As far as the visibility issues, again, I didn't have issues. I do know some people were having issues. They were complaining about it. I guess in this case, it is what it is. As long as they're not trimming back the hedges too far, like, it should all be good.
Pass on that, right?
Right. That's always a tricky balance, especially when you get into like a sort of a jungle type atmosphere. If you are in a real jungle, then it is overgrown. It's very difficult to see, but it doesn't really translate into great gameplay. So we took the machete, the weed whacker, whatever you want to call it, to that, and knocked a lot of that out.
Hopefully the
fixed
trimming
the
wasn't
scaling
too
issues
deep.
and everything.
Hopefully
I think
it wasn't
that it still
too deep.
retains the overall aesthetics of that jungle, much easier to see. On that note too, a lot of the areas were getting super hot with the saturation, everything that was, I think it was a blend of materials and then also oversaturated lighting. So we kind of neutered a little bit of those still have that like luscious sort of colorful palette in there, but just a bit more manageable and less overwhelming.
Lets things pop more from, from the background, right?
Yeah, and then the third thing I think that we attacked on the world art sort of level design side was the collision, which was you know, getting snagged on things, in addition to y'all finding exploits and you know, jumping.
Collision was definitely an issue. I was getting tripped up on pebbles. I was getting tripped up on steps. So I'm happy to hear this. Going into, I think it was Sun, I had to do a skip. So yeah.
Jumping into the enemy spawn. So we wrapped all that up.
Somebody found out how to get into the enemy spawn. I did not know this. I did not hear about this. Which one of you auto did it? It was one of you guys. Has to be.
Hopefully, hopefully we got them all.
We definitely made sure that the players can't climb into other opposing forts from the side anymore.
Having thousands of players helping us to find those exploits is super helpful, because we got this bug the other day where, you know, someone was getting into one of the forts and they spend like 15 minutes like scaling the wall in like very specific ways. Like, you know, those are the hard things to find.
I mean, if you're spending 15 minutes scaling a wall to get into an enemy spawn point, like, give the guy like an award or something. Like, give him an extra coconut, because like 15 minutes, like that's like the entire length of the match at this point.
I remember he spent like 10 minutes coming from this rock, trying to perfectly mantle a little rock. I don't know how he ended up doing it, but like 10 minutes later, it's a testament.
It's impressive.
Achievement for that.
Yeah. So definitely.
I like this idea. I like this idea. You find an exploit, you get an achievement. They should absolutely do that. It would be great if they did. It would be great for both the player and for the reputation of the dev team.
We've done passes there, trying to seal off all the openings and whatnot. We also made some changes. What we saw was actually the travel times from the spawn points to the capture points weren't identical on both sides. So we made some changes there to make sure that it's fair no matter which team you're on. The other thing is like the buildable bridges. So that was a new feature we added for this map. What we found through the feedback was that you know, people thought maybe they weren't as impactful as they could have been, and the cost was too high for like the benefit that they gave.
Absolutely.
So what we've done is we've just lowered the cost, so they're much more easier to obtain. We also changed some of the paths around like the northern ones to give them more valuable when they're built. So
and we added buildable on both sides of the bridge.
That's true. One, so now you can build.
All right, like that's literally in my video. That was literally in my video. Same story with the bridges. They don't really impact gameplay. Worst part, you can only build them from one side. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Of both sides, so it's a little easier to build them up.
That makes just to find like in upcoming maps, whether it be OPR or anything else, just more inventive ways and fun ways to kind of utilize those to their full potential. But you know,
sure. It's a new tool in our toolbox. Another change we made for the Baroness was we removed the barriers to enter the Baroness arena. That was something we had added in the original map to make it harder to like steal the Baroness. But in this map, there's like, you know, you don't have direct line of sight into the arena, so kind of didn't need that.
Absolutely true. That is a fabulous change. Not even gonna lie, right? Like in Coral Divide, and I do love the fact that the Baroness is below Sun. Like literally, Homegirl is below the Sun cap point. When you first go in, right, there was the barrier, and then you had to go right or left. There was like a runway, right? So removing that barrier is gonna reduce time to Baron by like a second. That could be the difference maker. That could be the difference maker.
That anymore. We also made some lighting changes in there, didn't we?
Yeah, lighting changes down there, but also that was one of the things I wanted to bring up is that the top level was looking really hot and great and everything. It was, we gave extra love to the caves and everything, a bit another layer of polish and set dressing and everything down there to kind of like pull it up to the visual fidelity of the
honestly,
above ground.
the caves were
and
just
lighting
kinda like
changes
mad
all
to me.
across for visibility and saturation and all that.
It's like bother
I think
to
it's
earth
going to be much
ratio.
easier.
There was no reason to
see
go
the
in there.
players now as they're moving around the map
Yeah.
as well, compared to the last time where
Yeah, definitely.
you could literally have players hiding in bushes and ambushing.
Right.
So
And
What's wrong with that? That is cool. Being able to ambush people from a bush is cool. Why is that a problem? I don't understand.
that brings us to another thing we wanted to talk about, another exciting thing that we had to talk about. Are you
Hint, hint,
excited?
nudge, nudge.
Ramil is going to do the honors.
Yeah, sure. We heard your feedback. We saw how enthusiastic fans were for the preview weekend, and you guys are hungry for more. So
True.
instead of doing another preview weekend, we decided to give you a whole entire week for Coral Divide, which addresses majority of the feedback that both JR and Brian have covered here. So we are ecstatic to see the player feedback that will.
Now, here's the honest truth. The week is a good thing. Right? The question is going to be, are there coconuts involved? Because I will be curious to see what the player count becomes, what the statistics are with OPR, with playing OPR, okay, if there are coconuts. Versus, well, actually, we know what it was when there were coconuts. Without the coconuts, I'm curious. They want to test how good is this map really. Let's not give anybody coconuts. Let's see how many people play it versus how many people normally play OPR. Goodness.
Will come out of there. The preview week will be April 15th to the 21st. It will run in parallel with our Rabbit's Revenge. This is going to be a brand new event for our console players as well. For those who don't know, Rabbit's Revenge is essentially you will see a wild, corrupted bunnies running around, and your job is to.
First of all, everybody knows I love this mask. I love everything about the Rabbit event. Of the event, the Coral Divide preview week, during the Rabbit's Revenge event, we'll definitely get more players because, again, the console players are all going to come and they're going to want to play. I don't know how many PC players. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's like everybody on Fresh Start is going to come because everybody wants the bunny chest, right? Because it's like the best chest in the game. The corrupted rabbit chest is the best looking and the most holding, the best. It's like the magical chest of holding. So everybody wants that. So yeah, player population is going to be pretty decent. I'm curious to see because, oh my God. So Crassus starts tomorrow, the 11th March. It runs to the 31st. The Rabbits, I don't know if Rabbit's Revenge is starting April 15th or is it starting April 7th? Right? It's like a month. It's more than a month away. Like, how many players are still going to be playing the game? Bill.
Kill them, skin them. You
This
get
is-
some rare loot.
This is by far the
that,
best
provided
skin
to
in the
you.
game. The
Yeah,
rabbit
so,
head skin remains
please
the
join
best
us
skin
for
in
the
the
next
game.
one and give us your feedback. And we still have time to get even more of your feedback into the final release of the map. So please join us, and really looking forward to what you have to say.
Yeah, we can't stress enough
I did a whole
how
video.
invaluable that the feedback is.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were champing at the bit
Yeah.
for the feedback because we just, as soon as it went out, we knew it wasn't perfect, and we're pulling it closer to that.
Yeah. You know what would be cool? We would also like to hear from our players on how frequent of a map rotation you would like for the OPR map. Since you're going to have 2 maps similar to the 3v3 arenas now starting season 8.
That is
So right there, new OPR map officially being released, part of season 8. It's going to be on a rotation.
a good point. Yeah, we're really interested in that. Yeah, we have a 2-week rotation right now for arenas, which we might adjust in the future. So yeah, definitely leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And
I mean, I am going to leave my thoughts in the comments below, but I'm going to say it really should be weekly.
And also, on that note, that brings us to our community question, our official one, not those fake ones that you were like slipping into the middle. This is the real one.
My man
the real
slipping
one
in
is-
fake
yeah.
community questions. That's
The real community
hilarious.
question is, we'd like to know what you guys want to see in another OPR map. This is not the
Guys. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It has taken 3.5 years to get Coral Divide. And now you're asking about another OPR map. On that timetable, it'll be 2028 before we see a new OPR map. In addition to the Hills of Hurt. Why are you asking? Like, you're setting yourselves up. You are setting yourselves up. Community's going to answer. Here's where the problem's going to come in. The people who are giving the answer today are unlikely to be playing the game by the time this map comes out. Okay? So unless you're going to be able to say, you know what do you want to see in another OPR map? We're gonna fast track one for the paid expansion that's coming in the fall, even though that hasn't been announced. We all know that that's what's happening, right? Like it's not a secret. It's not some sort of thing. Like, in all honesty, why are you setting yourselves up for this? You're gluttons for punishment. I'm sorry.
The last one we're going to make. We're going to make more. And we
Yeah.
really like to include
2028,
your
let's
feedback
go.
early on in the development cycle for the next map and see what we can do.
Yep.
And so leave your comments in the comment section below. And with that, I think we're done.
Yes.
So please don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked what you saw here. We're going to be back next month for another episode where we're going to talk about even more new and upcoming exciting things.
Yeah.
So please join us for that. And we'll see you in Aeternum. Thanks.
In Aeternum.
See you guys. Bye.
Did my man literally just say, we're going to see you next month? Guys, it's March 10th. March 10th. Players are stopping to play. We just had a huge round of server merges. And they're saying, we're going to see you next month. Not going to be something soon. Not like a little tidbit. Not like a little something, hey, season 8, here's what we're thinking. So, I mean, we know Coral Divide is coming season 8. What else is coming? Becomes the real question. This is something that I'm not the only person asking. I know that there are a lot of people asking this, which is why I'm bringing it up. That kind of shocked me. I did not expect to hear, oh, we'll see you next month. So that's the Coral Divide recap that they had. I mean, not terribly surprised about a lot of it. It's great that it's coming back for a week. It's coming back for a week and a month and a week. April 15th. 31 days. 36 days away. So that's been the Forged in Aeternum, the recap, OPR Coral Divide. What do you think? Are you excited to jump into this new Outpost Rush map? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more New World content. See you in the battlefield. Good luck, have fun, kill 'em all.